Observe the one more type of problem related to the candidate elimination algorithm. So when we encounter the negative example, especially the training example, when it occurs for the as a first example, then how actually we will be able to fix the generic boundary and the specific boundary. So this will be the interesting one. So you can observe here in this particular data set. So the first training example itself is a negative example. So now we will see how to solve this using the candidate elimination algorithm. So in the first iteration, we set up the specific boundary and the generic boundary. So we can observe here in the specific boundary, all are with the null values, and then the generic boundary all are with the question marks, that is depending upon the number of attributes. So in this case, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 attributes are there, so we are writing the same. And you can observe here when we go to the next, that is it is the initial iteration, and when we go to the first iteration, so we can see here there is a we can observe there is a negative training example. So what we have to do, guys, so we have to update the generic boundary, so such that so you can relate here, so we are able to retain the specific boundary as it is. So we can observe here, so what actually we are going to do, so we are going to write what all the hypothesis, we are going to write all the hypothesis. So we can observe here, so how we can do that. So now what we are going to do, so we take a attribute that is value that is related to the negative example. So you can observe here rainy, and then its opposite value. Can we see here? So there is a opposite value sunny. So we are replacing, you can observe here sunny, then question marks, that is question mark, again question mark, and then question mark. So this is what, again the question mark here. So this is what the first, what you can say, the hypothesis we have written. And we go with the what the second here, you can see here it is the second question mark. So we can see here there is a attribute value cold, and the opposite we have to take, that is the warm. So question mark, warm, and all are question mark. So we have written the second hypothesis. So next we have to observe this attribute value, that is the humidity. Under the humidity, so we have high, and then its opposite value is normal. So we can observe here question mark, then normal, and all are question mark. And similarly, we can observe here, so when it is strong, and then you can observe here under the wind, there is no further, you can see the different attribute here. So there is no opposite value. So we are not writing any hypothesis here. So next what we are going to do, again question mark, question mark, question mark. There is a 4 question marks we are considering. And for this fifth question mark, you can relate here. So there is a attribute value warm, that is with the negative example. And then there is a opposite, the attribute value cool is there. So we are writing here. And again, the last question mark we are writing as it is. So till now, 4 hypotheses we have written, and we can go with the next last attribute value, that is change, and we can also observe here, so there is a opposite value, that is same. So we are writing as it is, that is all 5 attribute question mark values, and then same. So now we can observe here, so the specific boundary is retained as it is, and the generic boundary get updated. So now we can observe here, now once we have updated this, then we take the second example, and we have to see immediately the outcome. So here in this case, it is positive. So when we encounter the positive training example, so what we have to do, we have to update the specific boundary. And then what we have to do, we have to remove the inconsistent hypothesis as of now from the generic boundary. So we can observe here. So now, since it is a positive example, and then we can see the attribute value sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, and then same. So here it is not representing the any attribute values here, guys. So now what we are going to do, so we are retaining, now we are updating this, that is sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same. So we are updating this. And then in the generic attribute, so we can observe here, that is sunny, then all question mark. So now what we have to do, so we have to see this whether it is consistent with the training examples as of now. So as of now, we have explored what, only 2 training examples. So we can see here sunny, then all question mark. So we can observe here, go to the first case. So there is no match, and the question mark, yes, that can be considered. But when there is no match and the outcome is no, yes, it is consistent with the what? The first training example. And then you can observe here. So this particular hypothesis, that is Sunny and then all question mark. And we can compare with the second training example. So Sunny, there is a match, and question mark can be what used that is matched with the any value, and you can see the outcome is again positive. So there is a match, outcome is positive. So then we can observe here that this particular hypothesis is consistent with the what? Training example 1 and 2. So we have written what it is consistent with the training examples 1 and 2. So now go to the second hypothesis, that is question mark, warm, and then all question mark. So we go here, that is question mark. Yes, it is matched, question mark, and we can see cold. So the opposite warm that has been written. So then there is no match, and here all are question marks, and the outcome is what? No. So what actually it is going to say us? So it is going to tell us that when there is no match and the outcome is no, and we can say this hypothesis is consistent with the what? Training example 1. Okay, so go to the second training example. So in this case, the attribute value is warm. There is a match, and then question mark can be matched with this value, and the outcome is yes. So we can say this is consistent with the what? Both the training examples, that is 1 and 2. So we can observe here it is consistent with the first and second training examples. So next we take this, that is question mark, then normal, all are question mark. So this particular one. So then question mark, that is matched, and here we can see there is no match. So here normal we have taken in the hypothesis and the attribute value is high. So since there is no match and the outcome is no, so we can observe here, so it is consistent with the what? Training example 1. And then here we can see there is a match, and then a question mark can be matched with all these. So when there is a match, then we can see here the outcome is positive. Guys, we can relate this now. So it is consistent with the example 1 and 2. Similarly, so when we observe this particular hypothesis, all question mark and the last attribute as same. So we can see there is no mismatch. Sorry, there is a mismatch, that is you can see that there is attribute value change, and then here it is same. So the outcome is that is no. So then what we can say, it is consistent with this training example, that is first example. And we can see here in the second case, the question mark can be matched with all this same and same, that is matched, outcome is positive. So now it is consistent. So we can say that what? It is consistent with the example 1 and 2. So now what we have to do? So we have to go with the next training example. So the example 3, outcome is positive. So now what we are going to do? So we are going to update the specific boundary, and then we remove the inconsistent hypothesis as of now from the what? This generic boundary, that is what we got it in the second step. So now what we are going to do? So we are writing that as sunny, warm. Yes, there is a match, sunny and then warm. But here the attribute value is high. But in the specific boundary, so we have in the previous case, it is normal. So what we have to do? We have to replace this by the question mark and the remaining attributes values, that is strong, warm and same. So we can see here that a strong, warm and same. So we have retained as it is. So we are not in updation. We're not updating any values here, attribute values. So when we go to the generic boundary, so we can take the hypothesis and we are able to find it out here. So which are not consistent with the training examples as of now. That is a training example 1, 2, and then 3. So now Sunny, that has to be observed with the attribute Sunny, with the value Sunny, with all question marks. So we are considering here. So there is a mismatch, right? So there is no match. So outcome is no. So then it is positive with the first example. And you can see this Sunny here, and question mark can be matched with all these attribute values. Outcome is positive. Yes, it is consistent with the second example. And here it has Sunny. Again, there is a, you can see the match. And then here all the question marks. When there is a match, outcome is positive. So then we can say it is consistent with the training example. So we can see here it is consistent with the first example, second example, and also we can say it is consistent with the third example. Just now we have realized Sunny and then the matching cases. So next we take the another hypothesis, that is from the generic boundary, that is question mark, warm and all are question mark. So we are comparing now that is opposite of cold, that is the warm. So here there is a mismatch and the outcome is negative. So there is a consistency here with the first example, that is the negative example. And here that there is a match and the outcome is yes. And again here there is a match, outcome is yes. And the question mark can be what replaced with these values. So no, there is a problem of mismatch. And then here where there is a match and the outcome is positive. So we are observing here this second hypothesis also consistent with all the three training examples as of now. And we can see the next one, that is this particular hypothesis, that is question mark, and then normal, and then these three question marks. Okay, so then we take this question mark and normal. So question mark can be matched, and here there is a high value is there with the attribute, and then normal. So there is no match. Yes, no, it is not. It is that is negative example. It is consistent with this, and we can see yes, it is consistent here because normal there is a match. Outcome is what positive. There is a match, and then we can observe here next attribute we can observe here. So it is high, but it is not matched because the attribute value is normal is there. So with this hypothesis, we can see normal. So it is not matched here. So since it is mismatched, but the outcome is what? Positive. So if there is a mismatch, then outcome is no, but then we can say it is consistent. But here there is a mismatch, then the outcome is what? Positive. So it is not consistent with the what? The third training example. So we are not updating in the generic boundary. So we are leaving this. Okay. So next we are taking all question marks and then same. That is that hypothesis we are comparing. So all question marks can be considered. So change and there is same. So there is mismatch, right? So then the outcome is negative. Yes, it is consistent with the first example. Similarly, we can see the same, and these are question marks can be what matched with all these attribute values, and the outcome is positive. Yes, it is consistent with the second example. And we can see in the third example, it is matched with all these attributes since there is a question mark, and then there is a match, and the outcome is what? Positive. So we can say that what? It is consistent with the training example 1, 2, and 3. So we can say it is consistent. So we have written these three hypotheses. So now we have updated the specific boundary and then generic boundary. So now we go to the last training example. So, and we can observe here. So the outcome is positive. So again, we are updating the specific boundary. And then what we are going to do? Again, we are going to observe here. So is there any inconsistent hypothesis there in the generic boundary? So that has to be what? Removed. That is inconsistent one. So next what we have to do, it is a positive example. So we are removing the inconsistent hypothesis from the G3. So we can see here sunny, warm, question mark, strong, warm and same is there. So we can see sunny, warm, question mark, it is matched. So you can say sunny, warm, question mark, it is matched. So we can see here it is strong, cool and change. And then here strong, here it is warm and then change. So these two has to be what? Updated. You can see strong and then question mark, question mark. So now this hypothesis can be what? It is consistent. It can be matched with the what in these training examples. So you can see here, no, it is matched here. That is sunny, warm. Like you can see here, that is question mark, strong, question mark, question mark. So that is strong, question mark, question mark. So that is matched. And you can observe here the one more thing. So what we are going to do. So next we are taking among these three hypotheses, which are consistent with the what training example 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So now we can see here. So in this case, sunny, then question mark. So we can observe here sunny, then all question mark. So sunny and then rainy mismatch. Outcome is negative. It is consistent with the what that is the first consistent with the first training example. That is the negative example. And then sunny all question mark. Sunny then match. Yes, outcome is positive. It is consistent. Again sunny match. All are question mark. So all the attributes value is considered. So there is a match. So then it is consistent with the what? First, second, as well as third. And then again, guys, so we have what the sunny and sunny, there is a match. And Question mark can be matched with all these attributes. The outcome is again the positive, and we can say it is consistent with the what? All the training examples, all four examples. So we are actually updating now. So, and you can see here. So we are updating, that is Sunny, and you can see here the bomb question mark strong. This is with the generic boundary. We have done it already. Then Sunny all question mark. So next we take this hypothesis, that is question mark bomb and all question mark. So again, we got question mark warm. So the opposite, there is no match. So the outcome is again negative. So it is consistent. And again, warm, there is a match. Outcome is positive, consistent. Again, warm, there is a match. Outcome is positive, consistent, because these question marks can be what matched with any of the attribute values, guys. So next, warm, it has match. So the outcome is positive. So we can say it is consistent with the what? Training examples 1, 2, 3, 4, because we have explored the fourth one. So it is consistent with all. So now we are considering the same here. Okay, so what about the last one? That is all question mark and same. So we are taking here all question marks and then same. So there is a mismatch. The outcome is negative. So it is consistent with this first example. So and again here it has same. All are question mark. So there is a match. Outcome is positive, consistent. Again same. There is a match and the outcome is positive. So it is consistent because question mark is matched with what? All these attribute values. And we can observe here the last example. So there is a mismatch, but when there is a mismatch, outcome is negative. Then we can say what? Enjoy sport outcome is negative. That is the label. Then we say it is consistent. But here there is a mismatch, but the outcome is yes, that is positive. So what we are going to do? We are not considering this. This is not consistent with the fourth training example. So what we are going to do? So we are removing that. So and we are updating the G4 with what? That is Sunny, then all question marks, then question mark, warm, and then all question mark. So now what is the final version space? So since here there is one specific hypothesis, and then there are two hypotheses in the generic boundary. So now what we have to do? So we have to write the intermediate hypothesis over here. So we can see then Sunny, warm, question mark, strong, question mark, question mark. So this has to be what? This one. This has to be compared with the first one. So now we have observed in the example already, that is when we encountered the match, so we are retaining as it is. So we can observe here we are retaining this Sunny, and then Sunny it is matched. And then now we are comparing the question mark and then warm. So now there is a first mismatch. So what we have to do? So we have to write the new hypothesis. So Sunny, warm, at the question mark and then warm, it is mismatched. So we are writing this warm, and then we are writing all the question marks here. So this is the new hypothesis with the combination of the specific hypothesis and one hypothesis in the generic boundary. Similarly, next what we have to do? So we have to observe the next mismatch. So what is the next mismatch? That is, we have already done this one. So we are taking that as a Sunny, then question mark, question mark. So please observe here. So again here, that is Sunny, this we have already taken. So question mark, question mark. So here there is a question mark, and then here we have strong. So now what we have to do? So we are able to identify another mismatch. So we are writing that new hypothesis, Sunny and then Sunny, and again question mark, and again here question mark, question mark. And then for this question mark, so for this mismatch, we are writing that as a strong, and then we are writing these two question marks. I think this is clear now. So we have got two hypotheses with the combination of this, and then there is no mismatch because two question marks are there. Again here two question marks. So only these two hypotheses we got. So now again we compare this specific boundary hypothesis with the another generic boundary hypothesis. So Sunny and then question mark. So there is a mismatch. So what we are observing? So we are observing here Sunny, then warm, all question mark. So it is already there. So we are not updating. So next we will see another mismatch. So now warm and warm, no issues. Okay. And then we go with the third question mark. Third question mark is also no issues because there is a match. And in the fourth question mark, and then there is strong attribute value is there. So there is a mismatch. So now we are writing here the another new hypothesis, that is question mark, warm, and question mark. So here the strong is there, correct? No? So there's that mismatch we are writing instead of this strong, and then the remaining two question mark as it is. So there is no further mismatch is there. So we have written now. So this is what the final version space, which comprises of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hypotheses, which are all consistent with the training example. So this is the outcome of the candidate elimination algorithm. That is the version space, which comprises of all the all the hypotheses which are consistent with the training examples.